Hello folks, my name is Dustin Goad. Welcome to my channel. Normally my wife and I do snack crate videos and such, but my other passions in life are travel and sports, especially baseball. So with all the AAA craziness going on, not only AAA, but all the minor league levels, with minor league baseball basically being extinct, and crazy affiliation or partner shuffles are going on, I thought I would cover AAA baseball. Now, just as a beginning clip here, these are my opinions, but they're also based on research. So it's not just conjecture, but it's research and conjecture both. If you don't agree, that's absolutely fine. I totally welcome different points of view, but let's do it in an adult way. Please comment on this video. Please like, and if you're into this, please subscribe, because there will be a part 2 coming up within a few days, and it'll be for AA baseball. So with that being said, welcome, and let's talk who will be the AAA affiliates or partners coming up here. Now, I went in alphabetical order, so I'm going to start with the National League and go to the American League. Each division is in alphabetical order, so should be pretty easy to follow along. Now, again, before I totally get into this, most of these are going to be real simple or basic. You already know what the teams are going to be. Some based on ownership, and some just based logically that it would make no sense if they left or switched teams or cities. So that being said, let's start off in the National League East with the Atlanta Braves. One of the easiest ones out there is Gwinnett, because they actually own the team. So there's 0% chance they're going anywhere else. You know, suburban Atlanta is a massive market, terrific AAA location. The next one is probably one of my favorites, or arguably my favorite. And the biggest winner of this reconstruction is going to be the Miami Marlins, moving their AAA to Jacksonville. Now, they've had AA in Jacksonville for years, but with the new reclassifications, they can put their AAA there, and it makes a lot of sense because Jacksonville is one of the largest populations within the actual city itself, with an international airport, and just totally makes sense. Terrific transition. The next, New York Mets, Syracuse, slam dunk. They're not moving. They fought for years to get there, and they're definitely not going anywhere. Good market. Same could be said of the very next one, Philadelphia Phillies, and that'd be Lehigh Valley. You know, they built that. They moved up from AA to AAA, and it's a beautiful ballpark, excellent location. There's no reason on earth to move. The next one's probably, arguably, the second best AAA move since the minor league system was basically blown up, and that is the Nationals moving their AAA to Rochester, New York. Now, on the surface, you might say, like, is Rochester really a fit with Washington, D.C.? But, you know, after having the Twins for years and years, I'm sure they didn't want to go down or lose their team, period. And it's not a major metropolitan area, but it's certainly big enough, I think, to support AAA baseball. And the Nationals desperately need to get out of Fresno and move east. So it's very beneficial on both sides, in my opinion. That works really nicely for both. Let's go to what I would argue is the most controversial division, which is the National League Central. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm very itchy. My allergies are going insane. I promise. All right. The first one's pretty slam dunk, and it's the Chicago Cubs, and they're staying in Iowa. They're not leaving Des Moines. I did see a rumor or a baseball blog online. I wish I could cite it, but I can't. I don't remember who it was. Suggesting that the Milwaukee Brewers were poking around to see if Iowa would flip for them, and basically it was shut down right away, and they said absolutely not. They're staying with the Cubs. So the I-Cubs will survive. The next one's also a slam dunk for the Cincinnati Reds, and that's Louisville. If you've ever been to Louisville Slugger Field, it's amazing. It's a beautiful ballpark, like right by the Ohio River. Terrific. And most Louisville people are Reds fans anyways. It just totally makes sense. Good, you know, you have good corporate background there. Population's solid. Excellent fit. Here, don't hate on me. Here's where I think the majority of the comments of this video are going to come through, if I had to guess. So I'm going to propose something that might seem odd to some people. I read a blog on a site called Fansided, which I believe has to do with Baseball America. Now, don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. Fansided might be its own thing, but I'm pretty sure it was connected somehow. And basically what it said is a guy in the know, you know how that goes, you know, you can't trust everybody or anybody really, but a guy in the know says that the Pirates basically are not going to re-up with Indianapolis, which to me is shocking because not only is Victory Field tremendous, you have huge corporate background there, population, large airport, like it makes no sense to me whatsoever, but you never know what goes on behind the scenes. So if you're a Pirates fan, please feel free to comment. And also if you're a Brewers fan, chime in, because here's what I'm proposing. So at least for right now, I have Milwaukee and Pittsburgh swapping their AAA franchises. So Milwaukee would go to Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh would go to Nashville. Now, from the Pirates' perspective, they were in Nashville for 7 years in the 90s, like the mid to late 90s, I believe, mostly. And I didn't read anything online about a negative relationship at all. So as far as I understand, it was a positive relationship, but Indianapolis opened up, and that's why they moved, to get a little bit closer to home. Milwaukee and Indy, from that perspective, probably not the perfect fit, but the Brewers supposedly had burned their bridges in Nashville, so I don't see them going back. San Antonio's reclassifying to Double-A. Round Rock's out there too, but that doesn't make sense to me. I think it makes more sense if Milwaukee would go to Indy, Pittsburgh would go to Nashville. Now, also on Fansided, I saw another article with Pirates guy suggesting that they might make Altoona their AAA, but I completely shoot that down. I don't agree with that at all. And there's a multitude of reasons, but we'll just stick to like the two biggest ones. First and foremost, they have a small county airport with a small regional airline called Southern Airways. You can only fly to Pittsburgh or Baltimore. Now, you might say, that's not the worst thing ever. At least they have an airport, but I mean, it's a pretty small airport. And in regards to travel, also, they're an hour and 45 from Pittsburgh and like just over 2 hours from Harrisburg. So it's not like you just make the drive, fly out of Pittsburgh or Harrisburg, you know, it just doesn't make sense. Now, if Major League Baseball expands to 32 teams, then I think maybe they could explore that, and also if they were closer, like, say, 40, 45 minutes from Pittsburgh Airport, I would be okay with that, but hour 45 is a long distance, and especially in a league where you're going to fly a lot now, it just doesn't make sense. Now, that doesn't mean you can't fly out of Altoona. It's possible. But the second part to that, or the huge problem, is population and corporate sponsorship. Because Altoona is a small community. It's not a large community. It's a nice fit for Double-A. And I'm not saying people in Altoona don't turn out. They do. I think they were 5th or 6th. And if I'm not mistaken, again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on my research. I believe they were 6th, if I'm not mistaken, in average fans per game, back not last year obviously, but the year before. Once again, if I'm wrong, I apologize, correct me. But that's about all I have to say about that. Moving on, St. Louis Cardinals, they're staying in Memphis. They're not going anywhere. No reason to. Excellent relationship between both sides. National League West, the only one I struggled with is the first team, which is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, I saw another blog online saying that they could possibly leave Reno, but anything else I've read is not suggesting that. And certainly in the short term, I don't agree with that. I think they stay in Reno. There's just not another option right now. Their next best step would be building like suburban Arizona. But the problem is when you have that Arizona like rookie league or whatever, so I'm not sure how, what exactly is going to shake out with it, but in my personal opinion, I think if they leave Reno, it's because they're building in the Phoenix suburbs. That would be the only thing that made sense to me. Colorado Avalanche. Colorado Rockies are next. They're not leaving Albuquerque. No reason to. beautiful ballpark, good geographic fit, culture fit. Albuquerque is not the largest, airport, of course, but it's decent size and it fits, it works. Dodgers and OKC is a slam dunk, no brainer, because the Dodgers own them. So they're not leaving there. San Diego, I don't see them leaving El Paso. I haven't seen anything saying they would. Makes sense. It works. Mutually beneficial relationship. El Paso isn't the greatest market, but it's not a bad market either. It works. And the Giants in Sacramento is a no-brainer. Like, they're not leaving. They fought so hard for so many years to expunge, Oakland out of there, and they finally got the A's out of there so they could move into Sacramento. Moving on to the American League, the AL East is probably one of the easiest no-brainer divisions. Orioles, Baltimore Orioles, definitely Norfolk, they're not moving. Boston, now, they were in Pawtucket, but they built a brand new stadium in Worcester, Mass., so they'll be in Worcester for AAA. The Yankees aren't leaving Scranton. There's been no suggestion otherwise anyways. Tampa, definitely staying in Durham. I would be shocked unless they built like a AAA stadium in Orlando. I don't see that happening. And that's certainly not in the rumors, so I would say they're definitely staying in Durham. And Toronto will stay in Buffalo. It's another one of those things, again, for years they fought to get there, and they finally got there. Salem Field, another really nice field where the Blue Jays, played this last year during the pandemic. They're not going anywhere. All right, the American League Central. The Chicago White Sox are definitely not leaving Charlotte. Now, if you look at it from a long-term perspective, I would say that the city of Charlotte would definitely pursue a Major League team. And I think it's possible because Major League Baseball will expand to 32 teams eventually. So I would argue that eventually Charlotte will probably be considered for Major League Baseball. But for right now, there's no way the White Sox leave. That'd be insane. Beautiful downtown ballpark, huge airport, great corporate sponsorship. No shot they leave. Cleveland, I told with this just a tiny bit for a split second, but I say they stay in Columbus. I saw another blogger, and again, these are just random bloggers talking about baseball. A lot of it's from like Ballpark Digest and Baseball American and other sites like that, like offshoots of those sites where people start talking baseball and stuff. I don't see the Indians leaving Columbus, at least certainly not yet. I saw a rumor posted saying they were considering Toledo. They're trying to poach it from Detroit, but I don't see that. Doesn't make sense. You got everything set up nicely in Columbus. You could leave to Toledo theoretically for the convenience of it, but I don't agree. Certainly not anytime soon. That being said, with my Detroit Tigers, they're staying in Toledo. Now, in the future, like for example, let's say the Mud Hens organization decided to align with the Indians down the road, I could see easily the Tigers moving West Michigan or Grand Rapids up to AAA, and they certainly have the population and the airport for it, and the corporate sponsorship. But as of right now, they're going to stick with Toledo. And again, in the future, I think they won't be with Toledo, like I said. And now they might not be the Indians; it could be someone else. But as of right now, at least in the next few years, it's going to be Detroit and Toledo AAA. Kansas City, Omaha, obviously, one of the longest tenured relationships. They're not going anywhere. Newer ballpark, great city. No reason to leave. One of the more intriguing ones, Minnesota Twins. Now, they are going to put their AAA in St. Paul. So the St. Paul Saints, which have been independent forever and ever and ever. They're like the best draw in independent ball. Lion, of course, of the Minnesota Twins become their AAA team. Perfectly symbiotic relationship. They'll move to the PCL, I'm guessing, most likely. They'll be too far away from the International League, but great relationship. I can't wait to see how that works out. That should be really nice. Our last division is the American League West, and the biggest news of the division is the first team, Houston. The other independent league team coming in, going from independent AAA, is going to be Sugar Land, the Sugar Land Skeeters. So Houston goes from Round Rock, where they had, I believe, slight partial ownership, not total, but like small minority ownership in it, to Sugar Land. So that's going to open up Round Rock, and they'll come by here in a second. The Angels aren't leaving Salt Lake, not anytime soon. I could potentially see them building in Southern California, but the problem is, like, you have your low A teams there, and granted, it's not like real Southern California, so they could build like in the LA suburbs potentially, or hell, even out to maybe San Bernardino County, but I just so doubt it. Salt Lake's a large city. You got everything you need there for now. Maybe in the future it'll change, but not right now. Oakland's in Las Vegas for the long haul, unless Vegas gets a major league team. The park out in Summerlin's excellent. Very nice relationship. Vegas is booming to death. Like, there's no way Oakland should leave. Here comes the next one, which is going to be slightly interesting, and people might disagree. I think the Texas Rangers are going back to Round Rock. Now, as far as I understand, there isn't any beef or bad blood between the two. It was just that Reese Ryan, Nolan Ryan's son, was part of the ownership group from the Astros, so that's why they Astros went back to Round Rock. They're trying to get the hell out of Fresno. Go figure. To me, it makes too much sense. Nashville really isn't a fit. It's too far away, in my opinion. Not a geographic or a culture fit, really, in my opinion. Round Rock makes perfect sense. Austin to Dallas, all DFW all day long, a million times a day. Plus, Austin has become large to the point where, you know, you can fly to a lot of other cities too. So as far as that goes, corporate-wise, it's great. Excellent fan base, beautiful ballpark. I believe it's in Cedar Park. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've been to Austin. I've not been to the ballpark. But I know it's north of town. I know it's north of Austin. But terrific fit. Makes total sense. The last team is Seattle, and that goes without saying. It's Tacoma. In fact, the funny thing about this one is the Mariners organization started posting jobs in Everett, Washington, like for, near Tacoma. Not exactly in Tacoma, but, next door to Tacoma, basically. So that told everyone in the world, okay, they're staying in Tacoma. They're not leaving, which makes sense. I saw one guy conjecture that Portland would be an option, but I doubt it. They're happy in Tacoma, and it completely wonderful relationship. Everyone up there is a huge Mariners fan, so corporate-wise, it's good. Decent stadium, not too far from downtown Seattle. It just makes total sense. So that's my list. Once again, in the description, I will post each of these divisions. If you disagree, that's great. Tell me why, but keep it respectful, and I'll do the same for you. Please comment, like, or subscribe. AA is coming, and that's going to be, in my opinion, a lot wackier than this one. But once again, if you love baseball, you want to talk more baseball, please comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what's going on. Let me know your thoughts. And most importantly, we're in the middle of this stupid pandemic, and it's getting worse right now. So please stay safe. Just want to let you know, love you guys. Peace, and tune in for AA update coming in a couple days. Have a good day.